literature of the past is a tool to connect previous generations to the present. It is the means of preserving the ideas and lessons of one particular generation so that their posterity may be able to glean from their unique perspectives. The literature of the Puritans and the other early American settlers was very didactic in nature and was full of lessons for Americans of all generations. There was a time in American history that teachers saw the value in teaching the literature of the colonial era. However, there's been a very drastic shift in recent years. Most English teachers today in many progressive schools are using literature that's modern and promotes modern ideas of social justice, which often does not align with the biblical idea of justice. Many of the lessons that they're teaching really come from misconceptions about people of the past. And so I would like to propose that for American citizens to understand the truth about America's history, American English language arts teachers must include colonial literature in their American literature curriculum. First of all, they must include this literature because this literature reveals the role of the Christian faith in establishing America. One of the first colony established here, British colony established that would become a part of America, was Jamestown in 1607, and the literature in Jamestown reveals the role of the Christian faith. Captain John Smith's journal, all throughout it, is just full of references to God and full of his providence. You're going to see as a theme all throughout colonial literature the providence of God. The literature in Plymouth, particularly William Bradford's work of Plymouth Plantation, again, has a very strong emphasis on the providence of God. He talks a lot about the struggles that they went through in their journey to America, and he talks about how important it was for them to make this journey because of their Christian faith. And then finally, the Massachusetts Bay Colony, one of the most influential colonies in establishing America, its literature, written primarily by Captain John Winthrop, showcases the role of the Christian faith in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Scholar Perry Miller says this about John Winthrop as well as other Puritan leaders. These leaders conceived of their society as in covenant with God, like Israel of old, which supplied meanings and directions. Here's what I want to key in on. Not alone for theological speculation, but for the civil polity as well. John Winthrop was fully of the persuasion that his Christian faith ought to dictate the way that he led as a governor. The colonial literature not only tells us the importance of the Christian faith in establishing America, but also the significance of the Puritan work ethic. The Puritan work ethic really affected the American way of life for many reasons. One of the biggest reasons is that it really laid down the foundation for American capitalism and the free enterprise system. And the literature really shows the connection between the Puritan work ethic and the free enterprise system. In John Smith's journal, he wrote this: "You must obey this now for a law, that he that will not work shall not eat, except by sickness he be disabled." This really is a tenet of capitalism. Basically, you need to be willing to work if you want to be able to provide for yourself. There are many consequences of ignoring the principles of the Puritan work ethic. We have many people today who are being taught that the American system, American capitalism, is just fueled by greed. Many of them believe that the American system is just very oppressive, and basically it's just a place where you have these major class struggles. America is the land of opportunity. It is a place where people can work hard and they can accomplish great things. And the literature in Jamestown really shows what is meant by that. I think that one of the reasons that people believe accept a lot of Marxist ideology is because they do not have a strong concept of the Puritan work ethic. Finally, the colonial literature really reveals the truth about race in America. An honest look does reveal some genuine conflicts between the Native Americans and the European settlers. Mary Rawlinson's account of her captivity, she uses a lot of very harsh things to describe the people who took her, but then at the same time, she reveals what exactly she went through. And so to really make the decision of what kind of person she was, it's really important to read her full account to get her full story. Now, the people are often just disregarding this literature now, and what has happened is as we've become so far removed from this time era, a lot of just misinformation, a lot of lies about this era have spread. One of the greatest examples of this is Nikole Hannah-Jones, the 1619 Project. The 1619 Project claims that there were 12.5 million Africans who were taken. She makes it appear in her wording as if the United States had 12.5 million Africans, and she calls it just one of the largest. She makes it out to be this huge massacre. The number that she pulls, 12.5 million, that is the number, according to Peter Wood, that was taken all throughout the Americas. So taken to Haiti, taken to Brazil, taken all throughout the Caribbean. According to Peter Wood, there were only 388,000 that were taken to what is now the United States. And so often what a lot of people who promote critical race theories try to do is they're always looking for more representation in the writing. But when you consider the fact only 388,000 were taken, it would make sense that during this time, slavery did not have quite the stronghold that people like Nikole Hannah-Jones make it out to have. Unfortunately, people like her, often they disregard the literature of people like Phillis Wheatley, who was somebody who was taken over as a slave. But Phillis Wheatley's literature just really reveals how God can work even through anything. So a disregard, often it causes people to feel that it gives them this permanent victimization. In 2020, there were many riots. According to the Heritage Foundation, it left damage of $2 billion and 25 people, at least 25 people dead. For future research, I would encourage people to just explore what are the long-term consequences of ignoring the colonial literature, and then how does a disregard for colonial literature affect American culture today?